Yep. Welcome to another live streamed episode of A Different Day with Jah and...
It's Neci afternoon.
Okay, I heard you that time. Good. Thank you for tuning in. We got a good show today. I think it might be a great show. We got CEO and momtrepreneur, Miss Jennifer Avila of Culture Delights LLC. She'll be here. What are you saying, Darren? What are you saying? Thanks for joining. She'll be here at the top of the hour around 5 o'clock or so. I don't have my phone, so I hope she tuned in. I know that I can't be checking for messages.
She sent us treats.
Well, you're the only one that could get any treats anytime soon, but we're going to ask. You know, I always solicit it. What going on, Neci? Darren asking what going on. If you just joined us, please go ahead and share the live. You know how we do. Share the live stream. Let people know that we are on. We're live. All right. You're now rocking with the best. We are streaming live from our YouTube. Same Differences YouTube page at VI_Berry_own. We're also streaming live on Same Differences Facebook, as well as on the number one station in the U.S. Virgin Islands page, 101.3 Row FM. So you have options of how you could tune in. Any one of those are fine, but just make sure that you share the live, like I said. Neci, how you feeling, man?
Man, I having a rough 2026, but you know.
And it just started.
I just survivor.
Yeah, of course. We're going to make it through. You're going to get bumps and bruises, but we're going to make it. You check?
Truth is I'm tired.
I wish I had that music queued up. Damn. Darren said he going to behave. I wonder what that mean. No Virgo slander or what I mean?
I don't know. I just started rooting up in Uno the other day, so I don't know what he's talking about. You need to relax.
Yeah, this Uno thing. Jesus, right.
They tried to come for me, and I had to tell them, don't play with me.
Yeah, if it's one thing you need to know, Neci is very serious about her Uno. So do not play her. She gets mad. Like, you would think it's spades or something. She takes it very seriously. And she keeps score. And she's going to bring up the score once she beats you. Keep that in mind.
Because I'm going to win.
Yo, do you think the creators of Uno knew that their game would be so serious? They're supposed to be a nice game.
I think they felt that they were making a real structured instructional game that people would be so it would just no.
I'm going to take the high road. Neci was a masterful player. She is. She takes it serious. She's serious about it.
But here's my thing. What required him to take the high road from a masterful player? Why you have to take the high road for that?
Because he didn't want to slander you.
For what? I played well. We played like 10 games. I did lose 1 out of 10, but that's good odds. And before I lost the game, I said I was going to lose the game before we started to play the game.
Because what happened? Your mind was elsewhere? How you know you were about to lose? Yo, what going on?
I had a feeling. I was like, man, this not going to lose this game before we shared the cards. And I did lose that one. But, you know.
You talked yourself into the loss. It was 5 games, but Neci lost count. He said I only played 5 games.
We did not play 5 games.
How are you doing, guys? We're great. We're feeling good. We're about to get into the local and the national news. We're going to turn up. Like we said, if you just joined, we have Jennifer Avila of Culture Delights LLC, a St. Croix-owned brand. She's the CEO. She's coming in around the 5 o'clock hour. Hola, I'm Bet. Don't play Uno with Neci. I'm trying to tell you. Trust me. Do not do it.
That playing. He's talking from
There's no winning. Even when you win. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no winning, really.
That's such a false statement, though.
She gonna downplay you. She gonna downplay your win when you do it. So don't even worry about it. Neci's a wonderful person and a wonderful. All right, you overdoing it now. You're doing too much.
It didn't. They just I would take something too far, you know. What being a wonderful mother have to do with playing Uno? You still get rooted out.
Exactly. We're about to get into our good news section. And don't forget, I'm going to remind you again, but please go ahead and send us your good news. We want to hear about your birthdays, graduations, weddings, bar mitzvahs, whatever you got going on. If you want to let us know about it, go ahead and DM us. Send us the information and we'll shout you out live. All right. Son of the soil, the Gal Neci Sugar himself, Adam O, has been named keynote speaker for UVI's 2026 commencement ceremonies. So we want to big up Adam O for that. Congratulations, sir. You're doing it big on the main stage and at home. We love it. Who's next? Y'all don't know about this. What y'all know about fencing, huh? Congrats to Crucian and Notre Dame freshman Cruz. You like that name? Cruz Shembri, as he put the NCAA on guard, losing in the finals of the NCAA champ. What? The USVI Olympian is in cruise control in the fast lane to success. He's winning at fencing. I don't know where you even learn. Like, how do you become a good
nice.
Where do you
train?
That we're
branching out into different sports.
Where do you train in fencing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get into it?
He didn't want one of them nice neighborhoods. Okay, would have nice neighborhoods. I love that for them.
Yeah,
I love that for them because then it exposes us to other things our kids think aren't attainable. So yes.
Big up Cruz Shembri, showing up on the main stage, fencing and killing it. We love to see it. Thank you. Also, we got a shout out, daughter of the soil. You may know her. Her name is Azadi Sage. I hope I pronounced that right. Miss Azadi. She had let me know that she's accepting a role for a stage play that's showing in April. So we want to say congratulations to her. Big up. Congratulations. Also, you may know her this way. She has Verbal Vibes, the Dreams Collective, open mic poetry music live in Truth, April 5th. That's coming April 5th and every first Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. hosted by her at Level. She also to be at Ambiance Cocktail Lounge with her poetry nights. Keep your eyes peeled for this young lady. She's doing big things. Not my fault you can't. What? Just saw it playing as a kid played out. Yeah, it had to be because that's the only way you could practice fencing. You get your little broomstick that your mother tell you stop taking, and you go fight somebody because I don't know where the fencing school is home. But keep that in mind, April 5th, poetry, music, go share your story, do your little snap poetry or whatever that is, get out there. All right. Local news. Want to talk about your money. The Government Employees Retirement System Board of Trustees this week approved a second $20 million round of funding for its loan program for active members, extending a benefit that GERS says has performed strongly since it was revived in 2024. The unanimous vote came after JERS, is what I'm going to call it from now on. JERS officials reported that the existing loans on the books have generated solid returns and continue to show favorable performance. Great news. Speaking to trustees, JERS CEO Angel Dawson Jr. said the 1,809 active personal loans currently in the portfolio have performed very well at an interest rate of 8%. That's high. Love to see it. Although reviving the program in 2024 involved what Dawson described as a bit of a sacrifice, he said its performance has since justified the decision. At this point, actually, 8% is becoming an active return compared to the financial markets, Dawson said. He recommended that the program be replenished with another $20 million to be split evenly between the two districts, with $10 million allocated for loans in each. The loan program will continue under the same terms as before, Active members with at least 2 years of credited contributions will remain eligible to borrow up to 10 grand, with repayment required over 5 years or before the member reaches age 70. When the program was relaunched in 2024, jurors received more than 1,300 expressions of interest from government employees. Trustees attending the meeting raised no objections or questions about the proposal and approved the additional funding unanimously. All right, so shout out to jurors making 8% returns. That's what's up. You love to sleep. You're not in jurors. I'm a troll. Oh, okay. Thanks for showing up. You really... Virgos are wonderful people, structured and practical. They're picky. What do you have to say about jurors and their percent returns? I know they brought it back. Did it go away or they just restructured it?
I don't know what they're doing about it. Them people deserve their money, so hopefully it's a good investment and it's beneficial in the long term. So some people are getting money.
True. Yeah, I like to hear that they're getting returns because, again, these people deserve it. Yes, they need their money. And we want it to thrive. You know what I'm saying? We want for people to have a good pension. There was a time when working for the government was like digging for gold, and you find gold and you get that call back. But now, not so much. Times have really changed, man. But they deserve, after paying all that money into the system, they should definitely get some type of, refund. They should get some sort of thing to look forward to after all these years. When you want to retire, you want to relax comfortably and not have to worry about money. So let's hope the growth continues. All right. Another day, another month under Trump, and another No Kings. So there was another No Kings rally that happened yesterday, and in the USVI, it was no different. Here's some clips from the Virgin Islands Consortium regarding that.
The regime is absolutely ridiculous. It is full of hate and personal corruption. Where do you start? Do you start with $1 billion being paid to a French company to not make 2 wind solar programs on the East Coast? $1 billion of our tax money is going to be paid out, so wind power cannot be part of it.
Morning.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
You ready for it? No Kings. Why are you out here today?
Why are we here today?
Trump is your dumb for it. Tell me.
The news?
Yeah, I mean, many things going on. What do you think about the war in Iran?
There should not be. Come on, don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Yeah. And the blockade in Cuba. I'm trying to get the reasons you guys are out here.
Yeah. Well,
we had to take his.
He's the reason why we're out here.
Lana sounded drunk. All right, what did you think about the No Kings parade in the rally, the No Kings rally that they had? This is the third one. First one was in June of last year, I believe. Then in October. Now again yesterday, all across the nation. What did you think about it?
I don't have a problem with the protests. I think people could protest more than one thing at the same time. I think we need to, I've seen some things that suggest that we can't do multiple things at once, which is crazy. And I also saw some posts of people saying, why would we protest when we can't vote? And I hear you. And I will counter that to say, we can't vote, but it impacts our lives. Because the gas prices here are already going up. And you know how hard it is to get back down? And we import all of our groceries. Prices are going up. I went to the store the other day and listen, that $50 don't do much. You could get some water and maybe bread, but that you ask him, if you want cheese, you ask him for too much. So yes, we can't vote for them, but it does affect our livelihood. It does affect the things that we experience. We're part of the US. We fall under the jurisdiction. So there's things that impacts us, which is the influx we've had of military presence in the Virgin Islands. There's still people less here. We've had ICE here last week raiding in our community. So there's things that does happen that affects us despite our ability to not vote. And it was a nationwide protest. So, I mean, being a part of it, I don't see the issue with it. But, you know, we can do more than one thing. We can also protest other things that plagues us directly. And more closer to home as well. So let's stop limiting ourselves to what we can and can't do. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, well said, well said. I rock with that. I agree with you. I just personally, I think I'm tired of the protests and the rallies. You know what I'm saying? Because and then what? That's what my mind is. Because like I said, this is the third one. We still have like a little less than 3 years underneath this current administration, but at home too, there's an administration that's kicking Virgin Islanders while they're down. So what are we doing to not only spotlight, yes, Trump is this and this, but how do we spotlight what's going on in the Virgin Islands on the national stage? Because the numbers, they keep getting bigger and bigger, and then on the news they tout it as a win. But it's like, and then what? That's where I'm at. After we finish getting our cardio in and we walk, then what are we going to do and what are we going to demand? I think there needs to be a second step where we demand some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to get some things for doing it. That's where I am personally. I don't fault anyone for going out there and, you know, peacefully protesting, because we do want it to be peaceful. We don't want nobody getting hurt, getting injured, getting locked up. We don't want anybody getting ran over. None of that stuff. I applaud you for getting out there and expressing your rights. I just want to know, what do we do now? That's where I am. Very much. Now we have one of our favorite reporters, I should say, Brian Loudon. He was on the ground and he's reporting on it. So we're going to play a clip of him reporting on the No Kings rally also.
Americans are taking to the streets for a third time to say no kings, and U.S. Virgin Islanders showed up louder than ever. On Saturday, March 28th, residents of all three major islands joined the third national No Kings mobilization, a movement that organized more than 3,000 events across 50 states in every U.S. territory. On St. Croix, roughly 100 residents gathered along the roadside. On St. Thomas, a similar number of demonstrators lined the People's Promenade on the waterfront, symbolically across from the courthouse, visible to every passenger on a cruise ship sitting in Charlotte-Amalie Harbor. On St. John, a rally was held at Frank Powell Park in Cruz Bay, organized by the St. John's Social Action Team. I don't have reports of the size, but I'm willing to bet the comments will help out. Good day from the Virgin Islands. I'm Brian Loudon, and this is a VI Update. On St. Croix, the first No Kings event last year drew maybe 30 or 40 people. Today's crowd was easily triple that, roughly 100, stretched along the roadside holding signs and waving at passing cars. The honk signs worked. Drivers responded loudly and enthusiastically. Residents I spoke to ranged from generational Virgin Islanders to more recent arrivals. All were deeply caring and well-educated far beyond the core cause of the protests. If some faces don't look familiar to you, I was surprised to learn a handful of visitors of the families protesting had joined in. The atmosphere remained jovial and support was plentiful despite the gravity of the meeting. The two counter-protesters, a drive-by finger and a creative "I Like King" sign, seemed to cause little more than a chuckle. Not a single identifiable federal vehicle passed by during the entire event. No Homeland Security SUVs, no unmarked cars. Local police passed by the scene, focused on traffic or visibly supportive. On an island where federal enforcement has left people afraid to go to work, where families are watching neighbors get taken to Puerto Rico with no ticket back, that absence matters. As election season arrives in the USVI, union presence stands out. The event had institutional backing. Leontine Jones, president of the American Federation of Teachers Local 1825 on St. Thomas, formally invited union members to participate. Leaders from 4 additional unions: the Educational Administrators Association, the Seafarers International Union, the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, and the Police Benevolent Association, also encouraged their membership to attend. Organizers held a de-escalation training session on March 22nd at Hills School on St. John and a territory-wide Know Your Rights session on March 25th. What made the Virgin Islands protests distinct was not the signs or the turnout numbers. It was what people talked about when they got there. The national movement has focused on ICE enforcement, the war on Iran, and the opposition to executive overreach. On St. Croix, those same conversations happened, but they sat alongside conversations about the cadastral division, waste management and agricultural programs, hospital conditions, and what federal enforcement actually looks like in a territory where everyone knows each other. National grievances landed here the way they always do, filtered through a vastly different local experience, local frustration, and local stakes. Virgin Islanders cannot vote for president. You know that. That fact hung over every conversation at the No Kings protest, without anyone needing to say it. People who live under federal authority without federal representation showed up to say that authority has limits. In a territory still governed by a document Congress wrote in 1954, one that Congress can change at any time without the consent of the people who live under it, the phrase "No Kings" carries weight that the mainland cannot fully understand. Nationally, the flagship event was held at Minnesota State Capitol. Organizers projected this would be the largest single day of protests since the movement began in June 2025. That projection has been proven true in the U.S. Virgin Islands, the first part of America to see the sun rise. Final national attendance figures have not yet been confirmed. In the U.S. Virgin Islands, the story is simpler. More people came than last time. The mood was hopeful, the conversations were informed and real, and no one who showed up seemed interested in leaving. Views differ on what protests like these accomplish. I'm curious what you think. It could be nothing in a territory where the real problems are local. Even then, WAPA protests have produced little change. But the topic has never gone quiet. The other view, this is exactly where civic participation starts. People standing next to their neighbors, no matter when they arrived, talking about what matters, supporting each other, and being seen doing it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm Brian Loudon. This is your VI Update. Your islands, your news, our reporting.
All right, great reporting from Brian Loudon there, as per usual. I expect nothing less. Now, as for me, as far as the results and stuff, I mean, they're debatable, whatever the results are. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that this many people are getting involved and getting outside, that's good. Get outside and vote too, you know, in those types of numbers, in large numbers. And we should be looking into that because it is an election year and it matters. We need to not only just get out and vote, but we need to get out, get informed, and then vote as a community for our all of our best interests. That's why I want to put out there. As I've been told, you know, hey, you talking from social media, from off your phone and this and that. I've participated in protests. I've been there, I've seen them. I've done it home in St. Croix, I've done it in Georgia where I live. And so when I talk, it's not just because, you know what I'm saying, like I'm watching, like I've been involved in it. But what I'm interested in right now at this particular point is results. We could keep doing the protests, but there needs to be a second step. There needs to be results. There needs to be action. And I guess I'm waiting to see what happens when people get tired enough. There will be a straw that breaks the camel's back. That's what I'm waiting for. All right. Neci, you got anything you want to put in on that before we move on?
No, I think Brian said everything best.
There it is. All right. So on to both of our favorite segments.
Like fuck.
This week. All right. The mothers of the week. The MS of the week. The MS of the week to this week goes to this guy. Who is he, you may ask? Kadrian Lomack, that's who that is. Kadrian Lomack has been extradited to face fraud charges on St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. It's according to the Virgin Islands Police Department, VIPD. On March 25th, 2025, the Economic Crimes Unit initiated an investigation into a complaint of obtaining money by false pretense filed by the Virgin Islands Department of Health, DOH. The investigation revealed that Kadrian Lomack impersonated an employee of Germ Free, a company contracted by DOH to conduct laboratory and clean room manufacturing services. Lomac contacted DOH via email and fraudulently requested that outstanding payments owed to Germ-Free be redirected to a new account at Citibank under Lomac's control. Due to the false representations made through the use of a computer, Lomac unlawfully obtained $412,190 from the government of the Virgin Islands. This is from a cash-strapped government, mind you. Funds that were legitimately owed to Germ-Free. As a result of the investigation, an arrest was warranted for Kadrian Lomac in reference to this matter and was entered into the National Crime Information Center database. On March 6, 2026, Kadrian Lomac was apprehended while having vehicle issues on the highway in the state of Illinois and placed in custody due to the outstanding warrant. So you just got over $400,000 and you still got a broke down car? On March 23, 2026, the Virgin Islands Police Department Extradition Unit escorted Kadrian Lomac to the territory where he was placed under arrest at the Henry E. Rawson Airport by the Economic Crimes Unit detectives. Lomac was transported to the Wilbur H. Francis Police Operation Building, where he was served the arrest warrant and read his Miranda rights. Lomac refused to provide a statement. Subsequently, Kadrian Lomac, 33, was booked and charged with obtaining money by false pretense, grand larceny, participating in fraud on creditors, fraudulent claims upon the government, and access to computers for fraudulent purposes. Based on the incident, bail was set at $20,000 for the alleged incident. He was unable to post bail. Where's the money, Mr. Lomac? He was then remanded to the John A. Bell Adult Correction Facility pending his advice of rights hearing. And so, Mr. Kadrian Lomac is this week's MS of the Week. The Skunt of the Week goes to the VI Department of Health. How did you send this man $400,000 that was owed to a company just because he emailed you? Economic Crimes Unit always on it, son. Listen, you would think they'd be verifying some stuff before they send large amounts of money like that. Almost $500,000. I can't wait to hear how this story pans out. Was he an employee of Germ-Free? How did he know DOH owed Germ-Free? We'll keep you updated on that for sure, because I want to hear how just an email, that's all it takes? Is an email? And then you send banking information and they just do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that from my bank after they verified me. Like they would. Anyway.
Because if I on the phone and I verify the account and they send me the text authorization to get the PIN code, I still can't get into my own goddamn account. After I already verified before I spoke to a person, because I have to verify before I speak to the person. And they still got text me a code.
Exactly. I need two-factor authentication to get into my bank account online. If somebody tries to charge $500 to my account, they're gonna notify me. But I send almost $500,000 to an unverified account. Okay, all right.
And this is why I think like there's a thief problem and there's a system problem.
Correct.
Because the amount of people that has been indicted for theft of the government funds through so many departments is a clear indicator that it is very easy to access these funds.
Yeah, this proves that for sure. And large amounts, not like man. Oh my God, over $400,000.
And I wasn't using that money to bail me out either. What are you talking about?
What? You would not pay the $20,000? You'd have went to jail. Listen, I would have paid the $20,000 out of the money they gave me and hop, skip, and jump over to Mexico. And I've been gone on the next thing smoking. But listen. he was caught because he had car trouble. He
I
did
wasn't
not
even a new car either. That money have to be going from this. The new car. I wasn't buying a car in America. I made plans. I have plans. Yeah.
At least get rid of the check engine lights. If you need to get up and go, the vehicle should at least be dependable. That's where he went wrong. I understand being frugal, but you get caught because your car broke down. And you get $400,000 sitting. Or did he spend the money? Like, dog, he couldn't have spent the money.
We don't know.
He couldn't have.
It doesn't say that they found the money. It just says there was track. You don't know where the money there. It don't say the money's in an account. It ain't say they find the money. It ain't said none of that. It just said it was sent because it would have come in that day and went out the same day.
But that's another thing though, like over 10 grand, they look into it. So man, oh my God. Yeah, like Jennifer said, can't wait to hear what happened with the story. I need to hear some more because that wasn't enough information. So VIPD, please get on that. I want to hear what's going on with this. So that has been this week's MS of the week. And like we said, K-John Lomac is the MS of the week. And the skunt of the week, DOA.
Yeah, that's what is a skunt like for.
This week. But, oh my God, they're spamming the comments. All right, go ahead and spam the comments. We appreciate the engagement anyway. Go ahead.
What did I say? What did I just?
Hello, Daddy. That's why I don't like YouTube, man.
Something you want to tell me? Let me know.
Please. From a Robert? What was that? Robinson? No. Not that I know of. Moving on.
Let me tell you, trending on YouTube.
Moving on. The U.S. Postal Service announces transportation-related, gas-related, time-limited price change. The U.S. Postal Service filed notice today with the Postal Regulatory Commission, PRC, regarding a time-limited price change to better align its cost of transportation with the market. This temporary price adjustment will provide needed flexibility for the Postal Service by helping to ensure that the actual costs of doing business are covered as required by Congress. While this price increase is a time-limited adjustment, it will provide a necessary bridge to a permanent mechanism to reflect market conditions and prices for competitive products that can support the Postal Service's ability to achieve the universal service obligation in a more financially sustainable manner going forward. The planned price change, which was approved by the governors of the Postal Service on March 24th, is an 8% increase that would affect base postage prices on the following retail and commercial domestic competitive products: Priority Mail Express, Priority Mail, USPS Ground Advantage, and Parcel Select. No other products or services would be affected, including first-class stamps. Pending favorable review by the PRC, the price change would go into effect at midnight Central Time on April 26th and would remain in place until midnight Central Time on January 17, 2027. At that time, the Postal Service can determine if a different long-term approach is needed. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know what all of that gibberish and legalese means. Look, with the war going on and gas prices going up, that means that everything else will go up. And the Postal Service, I don't know if you've heard, they also put out earlier this month that they may just not make it past the year. They're struggling to get funds and be profitable, even though they are a business. However, the Postal Service provides a service because these things affect not only local people, some elderly people, but business owners as well. Jah is daddy. Well, sir, anyway. To me. Yeah, so the post office has increased their fees on those products and those products only. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully we get out of Iran's region, but I don't know. I don't see that coming, but we're gonna see. As they just sent thousands more service members to the region, but we'll get to that. Any comments on the post office price increase?
No, it's just sad. I mean, I think the tariff thing just took a turn for everybody.
That too, yeah.
That's a big impact that's happening, and hopefully we get these things rectified, because if the post office is going down, you know we're screwed.
Yeah. Which is crazy because USPS is our main source of getting mail here. And it ain't even good. It's frig up getting there now. Post office been needing to increase their prices.
But they've done that. They do that every year annually. They do it at the beginning of the year.
We do increase our prices, and if the post office was to increase it too much, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's competition now, especially for packages. I don't know, man. All right. Moving on to the airports, from the postal service to the airports. Yo, I don't truly know what is going on as far as TSA, because from what I understand, the Senate had passed a bipartisan bill to pay the DHS except for CBP and ICE. Then they sent the bill to the House, and then the House did their own bill, and then Trump and Johnson.
And then they flatlined.
And then Trump said, hey, I'm going to sign an executive order, and they're going to get paid on Monday. And then other people are like, how are we going to do that with the money? So I can just read it and let the news be the news. The House voted Friday to approve a short-term bill to fund the entire DHS for 8 weeks, sending the measure back to the Senate, where the top Democrat says it is dead on arrival. The House vote last Friday was 213 to 203. 3 Democrats crossed party lines to vote in favor. Representatives Henry Cuellar of Texas, Don Davis of North Carolina, and Marie Perez of Washington. There are not currently plans for the Senate to return from a scheduled 2-week recess to address the ongoing DHS shutdown, a GOP aide confirmed to ABC News. The ongoing Capitol Hill impasse means the partial shutdown is expected to drag on as lawmakers fight over a path forward. The House vote to extend funding for all of DHS through May 22nd came several hours after the Senate approved the bill early Friday morning to fund most of DHS except for ICE and CBP. Ahead of the House vote, Democratic Minority Leader, Chuck Schumer had vowed that the House bill will be dead on arrival in the Senate, meaning Democrats will not provide enough support to reach a 60-vote threshold. Senators have left town for a 2-week recess and are not planning to return until Monday, April 13th. Wow! House members are also leaving to depart for the 2-week holiday break and are not planning to return until the 14th of April. Earlier Friday, House Speaker Mike Johnson and GOP leaders rejected the Senate-passed DHS bill. This gambit that was done last night is a joke, Johnson told reporters in a news conference on Friday. Amid the gridlock on Capitol Hill, President Donald Trump on Friday signed a presidential memorandum directing Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin to pay TSA employees. DHS said that workers will start seeing paychecks on Monday. President Trump, in a phone interview with Fox News on Friday afternoon, said, quote, the Senate deal on DHS wasn't good and wasn't appropriate. Senate at 2 a.m. on Friday morning approved a funding bill that included TSA, FEMA, the Coast Guard, and CISA. So, yeah. That's where we are. Okay. All right. So that's where we are on TSA. What do you have to say about that?
It's a shit show.
That's pretty
people's lives are being affected. People's ability to feed themselves and provide a roof over their head is being jeopardized. And I don't find it funny. I mean, This traveling thing that people are doing. Thankfully, travelers are being patient with the TSA workers who are still coming to work, and people are getting to the airport super early just to make your domestic flight. Imagine going to the airport 6 hours early to make a domestic flight. Like, crazy. And so, I mean, I think it's just atrocious. I think Delta has canceled the Senate's special privileges, so they are going to regular lines like everybody else. And I think all the airlines should, because this is horrible. And it's not the airline's responsibility to hold the plane so you can make your flight, because TSA and the airlines are two separate things. But it's really hard. People are missing their flights, important destinations that they need to get to. I'm so sick of these people. I'm sick of it. Sick of it.
And to be clear, we sick of both sides because they're
sick of them.
people.
I just said sick of them. I said them. Anybody that's part of the problem is them.
They're playing with people's livelihoods. People, I don't know. I am also tired of us, the little people, being treated as numbers instead of individuals. You know what I'm saying? And I wish the thing that kills me, right? Like, we can't make changes unless those same people decide that we could vote for those changes. But like we can't decide that they get paid less. We can't decide, you know what I'm saying? Like,
fire out of them.
Treating us like chess pieces, basically, for real. Pawns. Darren says Republicans been sabotaging USPS for at least 10 years to privatize it. Do you think the post office would be better privatized?
I want to say no, but I don't know what the benefits of it being privatized would be versus how it is right now as a functioning entity.
Yeah, I would like to hear the arguments, and you're right. I don't know what the benefits to going private would be for the post office. I mean, would it turn out
I would
to be
think
like,
they would lose their federal status. That much I think would happen.
which a lot of employees, they transfer over, or they leave from the military, they retire or whatever, and then they go straight to there, and then you continue with your man. Yeah, I would like to hear the arguments of why privatization would be better, but I don't know. It's a service, and they go to places nobody else would really go. Like, if they went private, would they deliver to every single mailbox in the nation? I don't think so. Because then it becomes even more about, what you could get, what money you could earn, instead of providing the service. But yeah, that's where we are right now, I guess, on TSA. So here's this ABC News correspondent live talking about it yesterday.
A lot of whiplash, Kira, but DHS says that TSA officers should start getting their paychecks on Monday, and that's because of a funding agreement that essentially came through the president and the DHS itself to basically move around funds. Now, there are a lot of questions about how this will all work out, if it will actually get over the finish line, but that's the latest as far as that goes. Meanwhile, we're looking at long lines as per usual, despite that glimmer of hope overnight from the Senate. We're seeing people here who have been in line for about 90 minutes or so. They probably have at least another 90 minutes to go. And check out where the line starts, Kira. It's downstairs. That is what is taking the vast majority of time from people who are getting up to this point where we're standing right now. You can see them scrolling, eating snacks, waiting, of course, to get through this snake up the escalator and then around this horseshoe where we are into the screening area. We just spoke with a gentleman who said, boarding closes in 5 minutes for my flight. It would have been faster for me to drive to Dallas. Kira, you asked me earlier how I plan to get home. That is my plan, is to drive to DFW because lines there are basically non-existent.
Yeah, nobody's immune. Everybody's affected. Even if you're reporting on it, you're still a part of it. You can't beat it. All right?
No special treatment.
No. And then Delta, which I hope that all of the other airlines would follow suit. I heard that Delta had removed the special privileges from Congress members, so they'd have to wait in line just like everybody else. They're too far removed from the people. That'll be one of the issues. They shouldn't have even been allowed to take no damn Easter break. But, oh well.
You want the Catholics to not celebrate Easter?
If they wanted to celebrate Easter, they should have came to a decision. Hell.
What do I have to do with them? What do I have to do with their faith?
Even the Romans decided before Easter what to do with Jesus. Hell. All right. So I think this is a good time for the disclaimer. The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of the broadcaster. Keep in mind that these opinions are ours and ours alone. If you want to hold somebody responsible, hold me responsible. I will take full responsibility for anything said during this show. Don't call Lima. Call me. If you do call her, tell her it was me. How about that? All right, that's it. Let's see what's up next. All right. Hey, is it racism or is it comedy?
Ooh.
Now, recently, well, Drewski's always in trouble. Drewski recently just made yet another controversial skit. I know his lawyers be on guard every single day. Drewski made another controversial skit, this time about conservative women and how they act. See if you can guess who he's referring to. It may be a particular conservative woman, maybe all of them, but let's see who you think it is.
Get on your feet!
But we serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
I serve a righteous God, and that is why we say our prayers. And we are all His children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Don't let anyone disenfranchise you because you're a young man, especially a young white male man. Don't ever let anyone talk down to you. We need strong men out there.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country.
I think sometimes Erica forgets that it was a white male man that opened up her husband's throat. Because, come on.
What?
Like, how are you? Anyway, isn't that who she should be talking to?
This skit is more hurtful than the man who killed her husband. What are you talking about?
I want to know. And then all of a sudden, the conservatives be in the comments, they're so upset about this skit. But then y'all were trying to convince us that when that skit about the Obamas being apes was about the Lion King and it was not racist. But this is?
No. You're confusing, you're mixing apples and tangerines, or maybe apples and meat.
Apples and meat is crazy. So I don't get it, and like the hypocrisy be so very blatant. I think that's what bothers me the most. Like it seems like every time they do something happens immediately after, and they just contradict themselves immediately. Y'all were cool with the Obamas being depicted like gorillas. The Lion King didn't even have gorillas in it. And y'all tried to convince us that was not racist. Oh, God. Conservative tears got to be sweet like Kool-Aid. I love to see it because I still remember how they used to call everybody, snowflakes, and that they need safe spaces. But then when stuff like this happen, all of a sudden that dark humor that conservatives love to claim they have, it becomes an issue. All of a sudden the First Amendment, it's no longer a right that we all should have. Don't disrespect Kool-Aid. Do you think that was racist?
No.
Why not?
What did he do that was racist? he didn't call he did not talk down to anyone. He did not call another race out of their name. He did a parody. He repeated. It's like Saturday Night Live. It's like they just reenact things that have happened that people have said and done and made it into comedy. And that's what Drewski has been doing. He didn't make up the context of his storyline. Yeah. It existed. That's all he did.
Yeah. I think this is along the lines, I'm gonna age myself. I think this is along the lines of great Al Yankovic. You know how he would do those music videos, and like Michael Jackson did Beat It, he did Eat It, but there is an argument about him wearing quote unquote whiteface versus blackface being racist. And the way that I see it is like Dave Chappelle has done skits like that, and nobody said it was racist then, because context matters to me. He's not stereotyping them. He literally is reenacting what she's done. He's not saying that all white women do this. And he didn't say it. The fact that the black pastors got mad when he mimicked them, I noticed they didn't say that it was racist when he did the white boy in the hood. They didn't get mad at that skit. They don't mention that skit.
No, and he said no names. He called no names. He made no allegations.
I didn't realize that Erica said that for real about white men. Yeah, she sure did. Her and them creepy ass eyes.
With the tears. With the tears.
Drewski hold up a mirror and they hate it. And that's exactly what he is. He's a reflection. And they don't like what they see. But we have to see it all the time. We have to see it and live with it. And they expect us to just choke on this. But then when they see it for themselves, it's played back to them, it's a problem. Maybe you should change then. What made it funnier, right? What made this even funnier to me is that to be clear, to clarify, as of this recording, as of this live stream, Erica Kirk has not formally put out a statement. If you see them talking about her, she tried to sue Drewski or anything like that, no, she did not. But this did happen. Grok, the chatbot integrated into Elon Musk's X platform, misidentified a satirical version of Erica Kirk, portrayed by comedian Drewski as the real person, failing to properly recognize her nearly a day after Drewski posted the skit, posing as the Turning Point USA CEO. This is according to Forbes. You can look it up yourself. You can go look it up. So he put that mirror up so well, an AI chatbot thought that was the real person.
That's scary.
All right.
That's very scary.
All right. So is it a stereotype or is he mimicking her? Is he showing her reflection and y'all just didn't like it? Because we all know with all the rules they putting forward, how close are we to the Handmaid's Tale? But y'all don't like to see it portrayed. I don't understand. So that made it just, that was like the icing.
I love that skit. I watched it too many times.
It's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Hey, shout out to Drewski and shout out to his production, because Jesus Christ, he's spending money on these things and he getting money for it. Drewski does better production than Tyler Perry. His wigs are better than Tyler Perry. I'm just being real. You could let me know if I'm lying. But yeah, that's how I feel. Drewski puts on a hell of a production. Shout out to his production team. One last thing. We have in backstage, we got Jennifer getting ready to come on. She's coming on at 5. We got one more thing we want to talk about real quick. This is why I do not idolize celebrities. I do not look at celebrities and think that they're holier than thou. They put on the pants same as we do, one leg at a time. Chili of TLC has come out as MAGA. I'm gonna let this young lady explain to you what's going on.
So Chili from TLC is a MAGA supporter, and I've been asked to give my thoughts, so here goes. In 2017, she said all lives matter. She got dragged, and then she walked it back. Then we find out she's following Don Jr., Tommy Lahren, Terrence Williams, and Newsmax. No progressive sites at all. Then she reposts some debunked conspiracy theory about Michelle Obama from an account that pushes flat earth and lizard people. And she never addressed it. Then, well, the FEC has dropped their records and nearly $800 to Trump's PAC, $63 to NRSC, and $7 to Ted Cruz. 17 donations in all. So this isn't a slip, this is a pattern. She went from no scrubs to now financing one. Now, here's where it gets complicated. T-Boz has sickle cell. She has publicly fought for the Affordable Care Act through policies that now Chili's money helps to defund. This is weird. But T-Boz knows this. She has always known this, and she is still on that tour. They just announced their tour. So either they have an understanding we're not privy to, or T-Boz is operating at a level of compartmentalizing what's going on between them. You know, that might be a teachable moment for all of us, because how many of us have someone we love whose politics make our stomach turn? Here. And we still show up, right? So T-Boz is modeling something a lot of us preach, but very few actually practice. That doesn't mean Chili's choices don't have consequences, because they do. The PR move is simple. Chili has to speak up, not a publicist, her, because silence right now is, a confession. So I want to know from you, does this change how you feel about TLC? Will you still buy those tickets? Will you still play their music? Because this reporting is spreading. Can the damage be mitigated, or has the internet already decided?
Well, Chili has responded since, and here's her response.
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here to address a few things that's circulating on the internet that's very concerning to me. Let me say this first. I have the utmost respect and admiration for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful to her or to any woman. I would never do that. And I had no clue that this repost had happened until I started getting phone calls and text messages from everybody, and I immediately went to my page to see what was going on. Now, mind you, I'm not very computer savvy, so I'm looking for this repost button, and I see that all of these buttons are very, very close to each other. And clearly I was scrolling and my thumb hit the repost button. Again, I had no clue that something like this happened until I got all the calls. But of course.
So, do you believe Miss Chili? It's getting spicy for Chili, man. Do you believe her?
I don't know if I believe her. I could believe what she said happened because it's happened to me.
Yeah.
I repost things that I didn't even intended to repost. But I would think someone of their stature, whatever, they should have some kind of PR person that could see these things and be like, hey, this happened, like we need to, you know what I mean? We don't have no PR for people. We just gotta check ourselves, so I would think that there was somebody in her circle that would have seen that prior to it getting to this point, because it wasn't just reshared recently. It's something that they're tying together.
Yes.
And so to me, that's been sitting there on her account for a while before this all of a sudden come out, this message, and now she's been dragged for it. So I'm not saying that she's not a MAGA supporter, because I don't know what she is or she isn't, but she just gotta deal with that. There's too many breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
For it to not have been a cookie.
You following Tommy Lahren and I, like, come on, man. The math is there. That's all I'm saying.
Too many breadcrumbs to not be a cookie.
Yeah, miss me with that BS. Why was it in your timeline unless it was content you engaged with? What going on, Marcus? What going on? And yeah, so when that money in danger. First of all, what I want to say, if TLC should have learned one thing, is to read the fine print. After all them bad contracts I had and I watched a Lifetime movie they made, I should be reading every print. Fine, small, big, bold, italics. But, you know, they got a tour coming up. Salt and Pepper gonna be on the tour. So our girl Salt had something to say. She writing it out for Chili after this has happened. Chili, please keep your pretty head all the way up, sister. This world is very quick to believe anything and everything posted on social media. Quick to crucify and slow to forgive. Even when you straighten it out, haters will always hate. We know you in your heart. I truly pray that you don't shed not one tear or lose not 1 minute of sleep or peace over any of this. We got you. And any threat of not coming to the show from anyone will not stop us from loving on you and supporting you as a person and your legacy in music. This is the type of bullying we as a people have to stand up to. Whoever comes to see us, great, and whoever doesn't will miss something special. All four sisters coming together, positive vibes only. Continue to let your light shine, queen. They better be careful with that. They better be careful with that, because Daniel Caesar learned the hard way. You try to defend your friend and when you should be defending it. But all right, hang along. Look who it is. It is the beautiful Jennifer Avila. Hey,
hello. We need a cowbell here. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, man. Let me see what I got. Hold on. That one right. Not that. Hold on. Jennifer in the building. Thanks for coming through.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I see you all the time online, and I seen your cakes that you did for Omari. I seen the cake you did for Omari, and I was like, I see some of your stuff. I know that you got the Beignet Bliss. It is on store shelves and all of that. I said, man, we gotta have it on. So please, can you introduce yourself to the people that may not know who you are?
Of course. My name is Jennifer Avila. I am from St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. I'm the owner and operator of Culture Delights LLC. And we started off as a luxury custom cake business, but we've since ventured out into mobile concession vending. We do the ag fair, we do the festivals, and then we also started some product lines to put out in stores, like the Beignet Bliss mix. I have a vanilla bean paste. I have an artisan annatto oil that I make to cook with because of my Hispanic, my Puerto Rican heritage. We use that a lot, so I made some of those as well. We're a small team. It's my mom, myself, my niece, my 7-year-old son, and my nephew Jaden, who I'm trying to get into the lemonade business. So I got him a lemonade stand and stuff. So we kind of doing a little bit of everything. And right now we're also working on trying to help other business owners who may not be licensed and registered, and to get their paperwork in order so that they're able to grow and take more pride in their business and build a brand and stuff like that. So we're all over the place right now.
Oh damn. So clearly you got a lot of time in your hands.
Well, on top of Culture Delights Caking, on top of my full-time job with Senator Gittins, on top of having 3 children, I just had a baby. She's 4 months old.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you. I make time for you don't make time for what you want. I try to build a legacy. I'm grateful that my mom she worked so hard to make sure that she started the generational wealth trend. She started breaking those barriers and those generational curses that came along with her. And so I want to continue that for my kids. I want to make sure that when my kids start, they have a head start. They may not want to bake, but they might want to hire people to run the bake shop. They might not want to do content, but they may be into marketing. Like whatever it is, they have a head start. My son, my 7-year-old son, he's always with me. And I teach him every aspect of the business. He knows how to bake. He's learning to bake. He knows how to be the cashier. He knows how to be the person behind hauling the ice. He knows how to hitch the trailer. He knows how to do everything. So I'm trying to leave something for my kids, and I build in that.
That's what's up. I love to hear that. Jerica says, "Hi Jennifer, you made my son's 13th birthday."
Yes. I hope it was good.
Was it good, Jerica? Tell us in the comments. Let's get into
tell us.
Clearly, business runs in your blood. So how did that start? Where did the first, introduction to business start with you?
Okay, so as far as business started, it started during COVID. I've always been, college wasn't for me. And I tried it did not work out, and that's okay. I did other things. So I did medical billing and coding, and then I had my first child. I wanted to stay home a little bit longer with my first kid because wow, I couldn't have kids. I finally have a baby. Now I gotta pay somebody $1,000 a month to raise my kid. And I was just so against that. So after losing that job, I started doing like part-time in the airline industry, and COVID hit. So when I was living in California, there was a mask shortage. So I thought I had bought myself a $50 sewing machine. I taught myself to make custom masks. At that time, they started to give the nurses in the area one mask to use for the whole shift. So I created a mask that you could put that one mask in as a filter and wash out your mask daily, and you're more protected. So I started donating those, and when I started sharing it on my Facebook page, back then I didn't have much followers or any content creating or anything, but I started sharing it on my Facebook pages and stuff, and people started to see what we're doing, and they started to order. And so that's where the entrepreneurial part of me came out. And then my sister was a baker. She baked for many years. Clara's from Special Occasions is who taught my sister how to bake. And she was sick. We were planning. We had all these plans to when she come out, we're gonna start a business, and we're gonna do this. We didn't have a name or anything yet, but we were planning it. And so before she passed away, it's like God kind of aligned the light for me to move back to St. Croix. And after her passing away, I started baking more often to kind of, have a safe space to where I could take my mind off of needing to grieve, because I tried to grieve. I couldn't because I had to help my mom. I had a 2-year-old son. I have to get my life together because I moved back home with nothing to nothing. I started over. So I started baking and selling beignets, and that was it. It was Vienna cake and beignets. I started making beignet mix to selling the trays of beignets, and that's where it went from there as far as the baking business goes. And then I don't know, it just branched out. People started to make me learn to decorate cakes. I learned. I taught myself with YouTube and everything, and then it just took off from there. Like when God has something for you, is like, man, like, he'll use you in ways that, listen, up to yesterday, I did a cake and I wanted to do something different, especially when it comes to people who lost a loved one. Every month, I also have another business called The Grazing Isle, and I do like charcuterie and charcuterie bars and stuff. And every month I decided to do one family who has lost a loved one, to gift them something from one of my businesses, either a cake or like a charcuterie spread. And so I've been doing that and kind of growing into that. But yesterday I had an order of a cake and for DeAndre, and I wanted to do something different. I felt like I had to do it all. And I remember the show for Eliana, the Prolific, and how she did the augmented reality. And I was like, oh my God, it would be so cool because they gave me a Makajumbi picture of him. So I said, it would be so cool if they could put the phone on there and like the Makajumbi dance. And I did it. I got it done, but I couldn't figure out how to like turn it upright. So I'm working on that, but I don't get excited.
Do you have cakes with augmented reality on it?
Yes.
I want to see. Did you post that? I want to go.
I did. I posted the ending of the reel. You'll see the like as soon as I moved the phone from the box, because if you kept it on the topper, it'll automatically go into the video of him dancing. But if when I move it from the cake box onto the topper, and as soon as it hit the topper, it started to move. The makajumi started to move. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But I had to, like, in order for me to make the reel, I had to turn it upright for you guys to see. But that's not, it kept going sideways in the real thing. But I did get to show the family how it was, and they had love it. Thank God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
Casey,
nice.
You got a question before I start going into some of the pictures that I got of her work?
No, not really. I've been following Jennifer for a while, so I've been seeing the things that she's been doing, been posting, and like she said, the things she's been doing with her son. I saw he was cutting grass the other day where he did with Wakate.
You say he's 7?
My 7-year-old.
He been out there by the side of the house, but yeah,
I feel like
out
he
there
been here
with his,
before.
yeah, look, I had serious, you know.
That's a grown man.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He
He
out there
grown.
serious. I saw what she. So yeah, I've been following her stuff and her content and stuff. So
I appreciate it.
yes.
As
So go
far
ahead
as
and get into the good stuff.
As far as the cake, Jerica says absolutely. He loved the design and we all enjoyed eating it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. So we got some pictures here and we want to just go over some of your work. Of course, we can't go over all because you've been doing this for a minute.
Yes.
Can you describe what this is?
This was Omari's cake the other day. And let me tell you, I told him that day, I see how much you loved, because I didn't know he put out a list on his Facebook page like a while ago, saying how much the list of birthday stuff, like my birthday coming up, he big on his birthday, and I love that about him. And one of the things was a coconut cream cake from Jennifer. And so numerous people one person messaged, placed the order, and then like a bunch of people flood on my timeline, like somebody ordered a cake for Mari already. I tried to get you something after the I'm like, what list people keep telling me about? And so when I went on his page, I saw that this was one of the things. So his friend Chantel had ordered that for him, a coconut cream cake. Yes, I love it. He messaged me after like, Jennifer, oh my God, this cake was so good.
I like that.
And I gifted him a little cupcake bouquet.
Nice. And this?
This was my niece. She just had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I took this to the hospital for her because, sometimes they don't have, I don't like the allergies, you don't know what the baby's going to be allergic to. So they want to bring her real flowers and have the pollen in the room or whatever. So I made her a floral bouquet, cupcake bouquet.
Nice. Pretty.
And these are going to be available for Mother's Day coming up.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I wanna get into this because I saw it and I got excited and I was like, oh, you make it. Okay. This.
Yes. Red Grout. Right before I came on here, I just delivered 50 of these to Nikki. She's having an event tonight. The Friends of Nikki Brooks is having an event at Corner Pocket, so she ordered some of these. But this is Red Grout.
I'm going to need for you to do this for me because I've never had it. And Mr. Darren is always talking about Red Grout.
The Red Grout cake.
I've never had Red Grout cake. You haven't lived a good life. As a matter of fact, I may have to get one for my birthday. So
please.
I clearly haven't lived a good life because I never had a Red Grout cake.
Exactly.
Well, I invented the Red Grout cake.
Oh, so it wasn't a thing. So that's why.
It wasn't a thing. It was not a thing. It was Culture Delight. I picked that name because I wanted to stay, in tune with our culture and innovate it, most importantly. And so while many of our traditions aren't the same, and I want to say shout out to Shalani, he continues to put out our cultural dishes and make our cultural foods and stuff, things I didn't even know about. But whatever I can use in my cakes and in my craft and make it taste good, I try. And Red Grout was one of those things where I make it as a filling. And I do it with vanilla cake, and I make one layer of the cream filling and one layer of the guava grout, and it is delicious. It sells out every time. What's in it? It's a guava tapioca. The reddish part is a guava tapioca, like pudding. And then you make some people use condensed milk as a cream. I think it's too sweet. I make a homemade vanilla cream, and I use my vanilla bean paste and stuff in it, and it's soft, it's creamy, it's not watery, it's not overly thick, but I don't know how to describe it. It's delicious.
I'm sold.
It's spiced. Yeah.
I'm sold, because I was wondering, like, after I was hearing, because Darren keep talking about this red growth, your grandmother didn't used to make it in there. But when I heard about it, I was like, tapioca, and that it sounds too sweet for me. I'm not a big sweets guy. But, you know, the way you make it sound like it might be just right.
It's good, yeah. It's not what I don't make it overly sweet, and I spice mine up. So the spices are really counteract the sweetness, and because the guava is already sweet, you have to add a little sugar to it. The tapioca, like beads, and then the cream, I don't make it sweet either because it's just too much of the sugar, but it tastes very good together.
Jerica says, I need to get one for my mom's birthday in December, the cupcake bouquet.
Definitely, we have them available. I have some more stuff coming out with cupcakes. So the floral cupcakes, I'm gonna have them in a box. I ordered. I'm waiting. Amazon, USPS. We already know the mess. But I heard you talking about the postal service and everything, and it's a mess.
It's crazy.
But we have them coming. Place your orders.
Speaking of the cupcakes.
Cupcakes number 16. This was just this week. Just not number 16. For 16th birthday, and they ordered these chocolate and pistachio.
Okay.
And these are some of the floral cupcakes that will be in the bouquets. And she didn't specifically order them, but I was like, let me just make her like a nice little floral garden. So when you put them out on your cake stand, it just looks very nice. Shipping, I do the beignet bliss mix ship. I could ship the vanilla bean paste. I could ship out the annatto oil. I'm working on the Vienna cake in containers and cake jars. This is the beignet bliss mix.
Yeah, let's get into that. What's up with the beignet? So you are actually on store shelves. Talk to people about
we didn't stop and shop in Frederickstead. We are in Golden Rock Market in Christiansted. And you can also order them from me, of course. I could deliver them, walk with them, you could meet, pick up, whatever, you know how we do it on St. Croix. But this came about because I was having a baby and I needed to step back. And with this kind of business, if you're not working, the money ain't coming in, right? So I was having a conversation with my niece one night and just telling her like what to do next. Like, I need to scale back some, get some rest. I get ready to have the baby. I need to prepare the house, do all of that. And since I make like mini pancake platters, I was thinking about doing like a pancake mix like that, because a lot of people are always asking me about my pancakes. They're homemade, they're very good. And I tell her, I should do some pancake mix to try and get them on store shelves and stuff. The Vienna cake waffles that I don't make, try to get them in stores and stuff like that. And she was like, well, I already have pancake mix that people trust. Let's not do that. Why you don't make the beignet mix like in a powder form where people could just add water and make beignet at home? And I was like, oh, what? So I started messing around with the recipe, started looking for substitute in powder form and stuff like that, and the beignet bliss was born. And it turned out to be vegan. There's no dairy product in there. There's the egg substitute that is vegan, and there's like vanilla bean powder, and just it's delicious when you make them. And you literally just add your banana or your pumpkin or your mango, a little bit of water, mix and fry. It's so convenient. You could travel with it. You don't have to refrigerate the powder. You refrigerate the mix if you're not finished with it, but you could travel with it. You could ship it. It goes, yeah. And it was a big seller this week. This whole week, it had a taste of like Ricardo Richards, a taste of the different schools, and a lot of schools needed to bring something local, and parents were making beignet at home. It worked out very well.
Nice. This is awesome.
Yes. I'm very proud of that product.
What is a beignet? What's the difference between that and a beignet like from New Orleans?
Louisiana? Okay, a beignet is like a fried bread, fried banana bread, kind of. It's like a mix between Johnny cake and a banana fritter.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
fluffy, it's puffy, it's a puff, it's a round puff. The difference between like the beignets from Louisiana is essentially a Johnny cake loaded with powdered sugar.
Okay.
That's really what it tastes like. It don't have no like fruit flavors or anything unless you get it topped with like the peaches or the strawberries that some other restaurants offer over there. But it's nothing in it. But these are like a mix between the banana. The banana fritter, puffy, like a Johnny cake.
Thank you. I needed that education because I've always wondered, and I don't know if it's a butterfly effect or what type of the Mandela effect or what, but like people like later in my life, I've noticed people coming to me with stuff that oh you never had this, you never had that growing up, and I'm like, like the red grout thing. The whole time I see people talking about red grout, I swear they're talking about a fish, not no guava dessert. I'm like, where did this?
I never had it as a child.
Let Darren tell it, right? This thing used to sell in every shop. Let him tell it because I never heard of it, but it was like
I never heard of it until I was an adult. I never heard of beignet. Well, beignet, a small in Frederick said they used to sell it like they would have older ladies on Saturdays would walk around with a basket full of them, selling them. But unless we go down there and stuff, it was not a part of my culture in our home. We spoke Spanish in our home. We learned English in school, my sister and I. Because my parents are my mom came from Vieques. My dad is from Puerto Rico. My dad was born here, but my mom was born in Vieques and they migrated here as kids. But we didn't know anything about these things until we moved over here. And I did not know about red grout until as an adult.
That's even more impressive that you didn't grow up, eating these things, but you still managed to create them and recreate them for people that have. That's awesome.
Yes, when I tasted them, I was like, what? My sister introduced me to the red grout, and Xantia from the sweet stuff is where I first tried it, and I love her red grout. She has them in stores. She used to have them at the gas stations and stuff out east, and she has them in her shop now, but they is delicious as well. And that's where I first tasted it. And then I said, I want to learn to make it and stuff. So one of my cousins used to make it as well. And she gave me the basics of how to do it. And I kind of work it until I created a recipe. And the same thing with beignets, I kind of taught myself how to make them. And I remember at the festival village when my brother and my sister's husband used to have a booth, and we used to deal with the kitchen. And so I wanted to bring traditional stuff, cultural stuff, and I started to make the beignets for there. And I remember one of his friends came by and he started asking like, who make these beignets? And he's a Crucian Gal Neci. And he come to, and my brother-in-law had told him like Jenny make them, and he come to me and say, Miss, like tears in the man eye, and the man said, Miss, if I only tell you how this took me back to my childhood.
Wow.
I haven't tasted this since I was a child, and it tastes exactly like how my grandmother used to make them. And when the man tell me that, I was like, you know how like grandma? Like what? It tastes like your grandma. That means a lot to me. So from then I started just making them all the time and kind of working on the recipe and everything, and now it became this way it is today.
So how is, with all this baking and cooking and all this stuff you're doing, how is everyone in your family not on my 600-pound life? How have managed to not be fat as hell?
We don't get scraps.
What left over?
We don't get scraps. We don't get leftover. We don't get the pieces of cake that cut from the top. Like I don't see reels where people will be like, oh, your mom is a baker, you must have some beautiful cakes. And then it'll show you like like pieces with like a mohong of icing on top there, looking all messy and sloppy. Yeah, that's true. It is. Yeah, that's what we don't get. We don't get it. But my niece to make me bake almost every Sunday. She said, "Auntie, you make something sweet."
Oh wow.
Today was banana pudding popcorn. I tried.
What?
What trying to pick up my bag?
I know, right? Hey, yeah, we need some sweets too to taste test and tell the people.
Yeah, no problem. I have some extra red girl time mix today if you want, come for some.
Man, Neci, you gonna go get the red girl?
I will go get it.
So Darren is saying, I don't know where he get the assumption from. So Jennifer, I assume guava is your favorite tart.
It's not. I like all. I like them all, but guava, coconut is mine.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something.
For me, it's really the dough, like the shell. You could have, because guava, coconut, pineapple. Like, what all can you do to that guava before you put it in the shell? But you could do a lot to the shell. And if your shell tastes like flour and water, you could put gold in that guava or in that coconut. It is not going to taste good. And I have tasted some nasty tarts. This is dry. It tastes like flour. I don't have no. Yeah, so for me, it's the pastry and not like the outside is it have to be baked good. It have to be nice and like crispy but not hard.
Yeah.
But me don't care about the filling. But coconut. If I had to pick, it's coconut.
All right, fair enough. When did you decide that I could really make money off of this thing?
Of like bacon?
Yes.
Oh my God, I didn't decide. I grew and I kind of let God use me. I learning to let God use me now. I learning to understand like we all have a gift, and some people choose to put away their gift and lose out on all the riches that the Creator have in store for you, and some people embrace it and grow. And so I just grew with. I didn't plan to bake. I didn't plan to do a business, to have a business. I didn't have any of that. My sister was a baker, and so I was always the person to like do the paperwork. I would be the bookkeeper. I do your taxes. I would be the one in charge of the will, and make sure the trust is in order. And, that was my role in the family. I would be the person to speak up like the attorney, but God had other plans for me, and I don't. It was never a moment I decided like I'm gonna make a business of baking. It just happened.
Okay. You're the business-minded person. I guess you're the hustler, but it works. If you have a talent and it works and you can get paid from it, you might as well do it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. You build a brand, and it takes long. It took long. I've been in business for about 5 years, and I didn't just wake up one day and like boom. I almost lost everything. I get back. I lose it again. I get like the struggles that people see the brand today and they hear my name and it'll feel good to hear. I've heard of you. I just never realized that you did this, and I'm like, oh my God, like you heard my name, like you know of me in rooms that I've never even stepped in. And that's a great thing. And people will see that today and feel like, I could do what she do. Yes, you can. But you see in the fruit. You ain't see the labor. You ain't see the tears. You ain't see the sleepless nights, how much things I miss up with my children because I end doing 10, 12 cakes a day. You ain't see the struggle that it took to build that brand. So
yeah, sure.
It's been a ride.
Sure. Now, it's one thing to be a business owner. It's another beast to be a business owner in the Virgin Islands. What do you think your biggest obstacle is in owning businesses in the Virgin Islands?
Oh my God, I think what would it be like? You have to have a strong mind. I gonna tell you that because I did not have a large social media following or anything when I started. So for me, I always been I don't have expectations. I just kind of bail and go with the flow. But social media is, it'll make or break you. And even when you make a mistake and you some people might crucify you and others might be, come to your rescue. So that's hard to deal with. Also, the resources, having the resources in having somebody like me, like you and I, who we could relate to, who we know been through the trenches of starting a business, like legally. It's hard to find all the information in one place. Like you have to go to this office, you have to go pick. And the people who are there could tell you all the resources they have available here in this office. They can't tell me how DLCA gonna operate. They can't tell me how Lieutenant Governor office gonna operate. They can't tell me how fire, how health department, nothing, like outside of their purview, because they're not a business owner. They don't, if they are, they might have an online shop, so they don't need a fire and a health permit. So it's having the resources in one place. It doesn't exist. So I'm working on a ebook on trying to guide people, because I noticed also the Division of Festivals is having the booth owners need to be registered, have their businesses registered and stuff like that now, or something like that. So it's important for small businesses to go and get registered. Go get your name trademarked. Go get your LLC started. Go get your health permits. Be legit, because not only is it a sense of pride you building your brand, but also you setting up yourself for the future. You could get business loans if you want to open up a storefront, stuff like that. So having those resources in one place has been the most difficult part of starting and owning a business in the Virgin Islands. I think a lot of small business owners could agree with that. Having the resources.
For sure. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Ramon has a question. I don't want him to think I missed him. What was the scariest thing about building your brand?
How it's going to be received, how it's going to, how people are going to receive it, how people, I still think about like one thing with social media today, one little thing could have people down your throat, on your neck. So it is the scariest thing is just, you know what? The scariest thing is starting it.
There we go.
Starting it, period.
Because you can always find a reason not to, or procrastinate. Always.
Yes, yeah. It's starting it. And I bet you, Ramon and others, you sitting on business ideas that you have not started because why? Like you fear you're gonna fail. You fear how people gonna receive it. Just the fear of starting is the hardest part. Because once you get a ball rolling, it'll be like, oh, okay, I could do this.
What I think a lot of people, I had to see it firsthand and then realize what I was seeing. I don't think we talk enough about the fact that some people fear success. Like they'll sabotage themselves because they're scared of what comes after, and like they'll do all types of things it's just as bad as fearing failure.
It's true. I agree. I think about it too, like, oh my God, like this really happening, and then you'll be like, then you kind of scale back, because when you start to think about the responsibility, the time it's gonna take away from your family, like what you're giving up, when you think about what it's going to cost you today, some people may not be willing to put that in, so they might miss out on so many good opportunities for the future, like that, because they don't want to put that investment in today. So, and it has happened to me too.
And the imposter syndrome is a real thing also. We don't talk about enough. Just feeling like you don't belong here, or what if this goes wrong, or what if I make a misstep? Am I really this person that people claim? Oh, you're baked goods are so good. Am I really that good? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it is. It is very real, very real. It is. You don't have to. I think staying grounded and pray. Like for me, I'm not like a Christian I am a spiritual person. I believe in God. My home is I surrender that, my business, my children, and it keeps me grounded in understanding, like I do what I do for God's glory, and at the end of the day, whatever comes my way, he gonna reel me back in and show me how to handle that. Some things I pray and I leave it alone. He don't give me a front row seat.
You've mentioned more than once. I want to get into it because I've been holding this question for a little bit. Social media. These days, it feels like if you have a business, you have to be a content creator. And being a marketing or ads person is not necessarily the same as being a content creator. But it feels like if you have a business, you have to get your name out there, you have to be a content creator, which you are, right? Would you agree? Okay.
Somewhat. Okay.
All right. So you've been very vocal online. Like you said, it could trip you up. You sit around thing, especially living in a VIA small community, it could bite you. Now, yes. What are some of the things you've learned about, navigating that arena, being, a content creator, and like for what you say personally, not to affect your business, or what have you learned?
I say what I mean and I mean what I say. One, I don't go back and forth. If that's my opinion, that's my opinion. I don't pay taxes just like you. The biggest time a day that I don't pay taxes is between 8 and 5. I vote. My children go to public school. I don't drive on the roads. These things affect me. Even though I'm a small business owner, I am still I am first a member of our community. My children are first members of our community. So if I see a problem and you know how many times I have scrolled past stuff and type out a whole spiel and then I had to delete it because I was like, you know what? This gonna cause a back and forth and let me just not get involved. Keep it moving. You have to decide. Pick your battles. But when you do decide, like, I need to say something, say what you mean. And that's it. And move on. And who vexed, too bad. Like, go write about it in your journal because we all are entitled to have opinions. We all are entitled to be upset about stuff that happening in our community and with the schools and things that we see. I have certain things that I don't engage in because of my job, and I don't want it to reflect negatively on my employer because that's my opinion. It is never his opinion. It is never on behalf of, but people may misconstrue it in that way. So you don't have to be very careful with pick and choose. Just pick and choose your battles because everything ain't worth having a discussion about. Some things you could discuss it in your house and move on. Other things you don't have. Like if I see something happening in the street, I've posted about it and I've tagged the entity like Public Works and stuff, and then I see them like go and pave it. Or if I see something, I don't work at the legislature. I know the funding is low. I know what it looks like. I know the behind the scenes. So I understand that they may not be able to solve every problem, but this one needs action right now. So I will share it. I will talk about it. And a few weeks later, whatever, I see it getting done or whatever, and I come back on and I appreciate them. I show them love too. But I think one of the biggest things is to, you be careful, of course, but you're part of the community. Just don't go back and forth to people. Say what you need to say and move on. It's okay.
All right.
It's okay.
That's what you said. Move on. Okay.
Yeah, move on. Like, if you want to stay on social media and debate, hey, you got a time? You do that. I don't have the time to debate nobody, and I don't. I like to say, okay, period, and I don't go. Like, you ain't living rent free in my head. Not one.
I feel you on that.
Yeah. I
Darren
say what I mean
asks-
and I move on.
Darren asks, how do you stay calm when things get hectic?
I was out. Like, I don't have to take a lot of deep breaths, Darren. I get 3 kids. And but my second one, the first one is the kind of kid that you'd be like, oh my God, I need to have another one of him. And then came the second one. And he's 2. He's 2.5. He did those terrible 2s and But he's like a sour patch, you know. He loving and kind and sweet and give me a kiss. But he'd do something like you rushing to go to work after you already late, and then he'd sit in the muddy puddle sitting on his school clothes. You know, like you gotta be like,
yeah,
breathe. As you mash them up. So breathe, go change, let's go. You know, you gotta allow them to be individuals. Yeah. So I don't use that a lot.
So how do you balance all of the jobs, I would say? Because you have businesses, you're a mother, you got, you know what I'm saying, family. How do you balance everything that you juggle?
It'll just happen. I mean, my mother helped me so much. Like, I had to thank God for my mother every morning during my quiet time, because like I'm so grateful that he chose her for me, you know, to be my mom. Because let me tell you, my mother is my number one. She'll go above and beyond. I can't, like, she's the tribe. And then I have the village, you know, like, yeah, my mother is she don't, like, right now she have the kids. I tell her, like, Mom, I need some quiet time. I gotta do this podcast. And she don't leave her, go ahead. You know, and they probably don't want to drive her crazy, I know, but she's okay with that, you know. Because my niece and my nephew are over as well and stuff. So she have like 5 children over there right now, and she love it. She loves having it, but having a village, you know, my partner, he's amazing with our kids. If I have to go out and bake, I come home from work, I get them situated, give them snacks, whatever, and then I head over to my kitchen to bake, and he handles home. And then when I come back, they're already showered, they're already, you know, home again, ready to get done or already done. Like we ready. Like it takes the village, and I am so grateful that I have that. Everybody doesn't, and I don't know how they do it, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they do it without a village, and they get it done. And I have that village, so and it's for all of us at the end of the day, you know? So we all help out each other. Yeah.
We got some rapid fire questions from Gentleman Style in the comments. How do you feel about Drewski and Erica Kirk?
Whew, I feel he that's his thing. He did it. It was hot on. Was it about her? Yes, it was. Yes, sir, it was.
Yeah,
but can you know it's I don't know. I feel about it like how they feel about like Erica Kirk and her organization feels about us. Period.
Well said. Well said. I like that. How do you feel about ICE showing up in the Virgin Islands?
My God, that was a rough week. These people help us build our community. These are caregivers. These are landscapers. These are build our homes. These are, you know, and if they ain't troubling nobody, like, why you come here? You know, our community is already struggling with skilled workers and stuff. Like, leave that population alone. They don't bother people. Really, they don't bother nobody. They're just being their own little section in Christianstead, doing their thing, Frederickstead, you know? And unless I go to the nail shop, it was unnecessary. The force was unnecessary. I also agree, like, come correctly or whatever, but I'm saying they're here. They've been here. It was just unnecessary.
Okay. Would you bake a cake for President Trump?
Yeah, I would.
You would? You don't take the
I
money?
It's business. Business is business.
See?
Yeah.
Oh, Jennifer, what advice do you have for single women to be prepared to be a girlfriend or a potential wife?
Stop expecting things from men that you are not offering.
Ooh.
And stop it with this being on 50-50 business. Like, enough of that.
Okay. What do you mean with the 50-50, even though we don't talk about it? What do you mean?
I feel like have you been to the grocery store lately? Why do we expect men to pay everything and we save our money and then expect to have a happy home, a happy wife, happy life? Yeah. No. How can we? I have sons. I don't want a woman putting that pressure out on my children. Like, if they're able to provide and give you that life, hooray! I ma'am, let's go do our nails. That's my daughter-in-law. But if my son needs help and you're the partner, you be a partner. Like, I don't get it. I don't debate with people on social media with it. How you feel is how you feel, and that's okay. If you feel like you don't want to walk, you want that kind of life, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me, and I feel like I wouldn't raise my daughter to think that way.
There it is. I tend to think.
Yeah.
I tend to think that women that have sons, they tend to like have a more balanced view, because it's like, how do you want your son treated? Would you like for your son's life to just be going to work, give his money? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you be cool with that?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I think that's the advice I would give. And don't listen to your friends who are single. If you are married, do not listen to girlfriends and like associate yourself with the kind of people you want to end up like. You want to be a wife, you are a wife, have married couple friends, don't involve people in your thing, because some people don't like to, like, they're miserable and misery like company, and that's like, you have to, certain things you have to kind of keep it here. Yeah. Keep it close to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Me too.
Easy. Questions?
Yes, I have two actually. One, what would you say is one or two of the biggest things that you accomplished last year that you didn't think was possible?
One of the biggest things I accomplished last year that I did not think was possible. Oh my God. The Beignet Bliss mix. I did not plan, and it just, I tried it and it happened. Like, it wasn't like something that was in the work for a long time, and I just did it, and it landed.
The mix or getting it sold in stores?
Like the mix and getting it sold, because the mix that I have in stores was not the mix that I would make at home with the egg and the oil and the water, But creating that, like, and the end product being exactly what I make at home before the mix, like, I never thought I could have done that.
Are you willing to share with us how you managed to get that done and then into stores? You might help somebody else.
Yeah, well, so what I did was create the recipe to, I researched, like, I know my recipe needed an egg. So what can I use instead of an egg? So the egg substitute, like the egg powder. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I use in place of, like, the oil? Or, did it really need the oil that my original recipe called for? Did it really need certain things that my original recipe called for liquid-wise? And can I get those in powder form? And then once I figured out the substitutes in powder form, then I just started kind of measuring, playing around with it. It's the same how you make a cookie or a cake recipe. You start to play around with, like, the baking powder, as opposed to the yeast. You just mess around with it. And then to get it in store, Stop and Shop actually asked me to bring it to their store Bashar from Stop and Shop, he was like, when I started to put it out on Facebook and stuff, people started to talk about it. He reached out and he was like, hey, you could have it? And yes, I come in. And I did that. And then the same thing with Golden Rock Market, they asked me, like, you could say yourself, like, I have a really good working relationship with them. That's where I get a lot of my bulk supplies for my cakes. And she was like, sure, bring it in. Let's do this. So I did. And by the grace of God, it worked out that way. And I'm hoping to try to get it like at the market in Plaza East. A lot of my customers are asking me to please, can I bring it there? Because when they go like shopping, like on the first of the month and stuff like that, they want to be able to purchase that too, and that's their preferred supermarket or whatever. So I'm going to try to get it into the other stores. But by the grace of God, I was offered the opportunity, and I took it. I said yes, I come in. Yeah.
Congrats. You had one more, or was that both questions?
Yes, I had one more. What are you looking forward to accomplishing this year?
This year, I want to be able to, I'm hoping to work with Department of Tourism. I feel like St. Croix is a whole culinary and art experience. We are not like St. Thomas. We're not like St. John. Like, our product is food. Our product is art. And I think that's how we need to market, and agriculture. And I think that's what we need to market. We need to have the local guava growers, the local passion fruits, the local stuff made into products that our tourists could come here and be like, wow, I eat a passion fruit cake, or whatever that looks like, right? And they have like sea trade coming up. And just the other day, put up a post with them saying Red Girl. I was like, I declare that this year, Department of Tourism is going to take my beignet bliss mix samples and my Red Girl samples to sea trade, because I want people to know what our culture tastes like bite into St. Croix, you know? And when they come here, they need to be able to experience that. Have local food vendor. I have never seen, correct me if I am wrong, but I have never seen a local food vendor on our waterfront when there are cruise ship days. What there is a lot of made in China stuff. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry. And there are a lot of local vendors, like they have the creams and the earrings and t-shirts and stuff, and I respect it. But is that who we are as a tourism product? No. Why can't there be a beignet, somebody making beignets, somebody selling Vienna cake, sugar cake, tarts? Like when our visitors come here, they're talking about the cheeseburgers and the hamburgers they've had at the hotels. How the food was not good. Look at the TikTok videos, and we're like, where did you eat? Because we have local food, we have our flavor, but they don't see that where they stay in the Christian set towns, in the Frederickson towns where they come in. Why? So I want my stuff to be available on the cruise ships. I want it to be on the deck when they come after sample, so they could buy a bag of beignet bliss to take it back with them to, like, I have to make this beignet when I go back to Minnesota, you know? So that's my goal this year.
We see the vision. You're going to be there.
Yeah. We're going to be there.
So usually around this time, we play like a trending topic, and then we weigh in on it, and then we hit the final words. So, yeah, we're about to close off, so I'm just going to play this. I can't remember who sent it to me. Was it you that sent it? No. My homeboy sent it to me, and it's funny because my other homeboy messaged me, and he was like, women keep asking, do we like them anymore? Do men like women anymore? Right? I responded with, I noticed they asked, do we like them? But there's another question that they're not asking. I want to see if I can catch a question that doesn't get asked, the follow-up. Well, check this out.
I'm just asking as a female, do y'all men hate females? Do y'all hate us? Because how it's looking in this society, this world is giving the men hate us. They hate us because they want to be us. Like, I'm confused.
I can only speak for myself. I try not to speak for men as a whole. I don't believe that we hate women. I know that there are groups of like red pill guys that they hate women. Like there are groups that generally hate, but overall I don't think that men hate women. I think that we're becoming more and more disconnected. And I think social media is really at fault because we keep looking at things that aren't real and we're striving for them and we're getting farther away from the people that actually are real. Like there are people getting into relationships, full-blown relationships with ChatGPT. We thought it was bad when they were falling in love with a Rolls toy, but it's worse now. This thing ain't even got no real physical body parts at all. So I don't think that men hate women. I think I love women. Do I love? I can only speak for my community, Black and Puerto Rican and stuff like that. They're not the easiest women to have a relationship with. They can be difficult. The difficulty level is what we don't like. The fact that it's hard to have a conversation and like relate about, hey, like I find it hard to bring to you, hey, this thing that you're doing, I have a problem with it, without it being viewed as an attack on who you are as a person. Like it's not you, it's the behavior. I have an issue with this behavior. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Darren says men don't hate women. I think we hate the current culture that women are congregating in. So I'd like for y'all to weigh in on that. What do you think? What do you ladies
You can go for
Anybody?
No, I think in terms of the video, what Darren just said.
Sure, whichever. Like whichever. I know you don't like to address him publicly, but sure. If you want to talk about him or the video, it's up to you.
I think there's 2 things. Of course, the video and what she said that men don't like women. I think there is a bigger question in terms of what is it that they don't like that we're doing that we've heard that conclusion. And the second thing would be in terms of what Darren said is the culture is not solely based on women. Men are there too. So the fault doesn't lie on one side. The responsibility and the acceptance of it is definitely there. And we're the generation that's coming now, it's very different from our previous generations where things were very clear. Everything is convoluted now, and everything is I feel, and I feel stands for more than is that factual stuff. So you gotta know which basket you want to carry. If you're living in facts, you're living in feels, because people stand in the ground, and whether we believe it or not, whether it's true or not, like you said, people marrying trees and rivers these days and chat GPTs and whatever, damn thing is not real. There's definitely a disassociation with love and acceptance and being loved and wanted, and people are just finding wherever they can.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Very.
Because as soon as they get a rose, it's like, yeah, I don't need a man no more. Which is crazy. What do you think, Jennifer?
Agree with you, Jah. I agree that in conversations with my male friends or even my own part, like my boyfriend would attack, and that's exactly what he does say. Like social media have us thinking this of this fantasy, this fairy tale life, and in reality, we some people don't get to cuddle, even though they're sleeping in the same bed every night because they're so tired. Life and children coming in the bed, things happening. We gotta hurry up. We're moving, like everything. So it's not always a fairy tale that social media gives us. I always see people saying how social media is not a real place, and it's not. It's people to show you what they want you to see, and they want you to see the best side of them. So I agree. I don't think men hate women. I think men are just tired of having to, and then they have to defend themselves so many times. Like the other day, I see somebody with like a Stanley Cup, men that have a Stanley Cup gay. Everything is gay. Like, men, do not breathe because you're gay. That's how social media have people moving. And some people really believe like, yeah, it's true. And everything they read is true. And everything they see is true. And they forget about the real life that they have. And they I wish people would focus, like put more time into the people them around them and who they have at home and who they're trying to build with, as much time as they're scrolling, because you'll get to discover a lot more things about your children, about your partner, about, you know, your life. But I agree with you. I don't think men hate women. I just think they hate or they dislike what we're doing nowadays. We as women, like this 50-50 thing, that conversation that just go left every time. And then we expect so much of men that we're not willing to give back in return. And you don't want to be partners. You want to be taken care of. You know, like it's just too much. And I think men are tired.
Yeah.
Men are tired. I think, and rightfully so. In my opinion, in my Jennifer opinion, humbly, in my opinion, I think men are tired, and they're right to be tired because we don't listen sometimes. We don't, and I'm learning too as a woman, as a partner. I learn in my, you know, he communicates those things with me, and I try to do better. Some things we have to compromise with, and some things I'm not willing to compromise, but most things I have to, like, okay, I understand, I hear you, I apologize. Like, I learning to do those things.
Yeah,
it's a learning process. Yeah.
I think we all, I don't want to just put it on women. First of all, that lady is a bad example, because you, like, even in the video, you can tell that she's being disingenuous with her question, because she's not just asking it and leaving the floor open. She asks and then she answers with a ridiculous answer, talking about, oh, it's because they want to be us. That makes sense? Right. No, that don't make no sense. There's really gay men that want to be women. So how would a straight men also want, like, it don't make no sense. Y'all just saying things and then you don't even want to hear the response. Which, that's the part that I don't hear. I hear all the time, do y'all even love women? Do y'all even like women anymore? What I don't hear is why? Why? What is it that men don't like about women these days? They don't ask that, because then they would hear those responses and they wouldn't like it.
Right. You know, and in all fairness, right? In all fairness, a lot of, you know, men have set, a lot of men don't like to accept the fact that they kind of created those women, but like you know, with the augmented bodies and the long hair, and they made a lot of Black women feel like you need to look a certain way to get certain things and be of a certain stature, right? And now they feel like, okay, I take that and went too far. With the lashes that look like bruise in your face, you know, all these things, right? Now they want the natural and the everything. So now the fakeness ain't good enough no more either. So now we gotta go back to the natural thing. And then when, you know, it's like a cycle, right? And there's also been a lot of women who, like our moms and our grandparents, who, they were stay-at-home parents, but they had to endure a lot. They had to endure outside children. They had to endure abuse, physical abuse. They had and keep quiet, and everything was a big secret. And so it may look like my grandpa took care of my grandmother. She didn't have to work, but you didn't see what your grandpa was been everywhere else doing too. You know? So granted that those were the kind, you know, women who kind of woke up to and were like, no man, I ain't gonna be that person. I gonna be who I, you know, who I glowing up, I growing, I doing what I want, I gonna be who I want, and that's okay. But then now when you took it too far, don't question like, okay, I really like women. No, they value themselves too, and the generations are changing, the conversations are changing. It's not always going to be the 1950s look. We're not there anymore, you know? So it's... Yeah, but so that's my opinion. Everybody may not agree. And the media, the makeup industry, the plastic industry, the Kim Kardashian, right. But that's who men were paying attention to. Because when the natural women were there, they no longer wanted the natural women. They wanted the Kim Kardashians and those types.
So check this.
Until it was too much.
So I believe it becomes what came first, the chicken or the egg? because I think that often, I said this several times, I think that women have a lot more power than they embrace. Like, women have the keys, really, but like they relinquish their power to men. Because in the 90s, 2000s, all of them times, Aaliyah, TLC, Salt and Pepper and them, that was all natural. You know what I'm saying? And men loved it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure my father was lusting after them girls, and it wasn't a fake body in the room. At a certain
I think
point,
women relinquish their bodies to men. To themselves to men. They relinquish themselves to other women because we're always comparing.
exactly. You see, because they
We're always
competed with women.
comparing ourselves and we're
Exactly.
competing with other women,
So
like
us,
the Kardashians and stuff.
for our dumb selves, we don't realize what you said is true about how we aided in it, right? Because what we started seeing and we started liking it. We started liking it, but we've always liked what we saw. So then what the disconnect comes in, I like what I see. I know that ain't my girl. You know what I'm saying? I know what's real too. So when you see that he's liking and harding and doing all this stuff for the big booty girl, where your ass is 60 inches, then you're comparing. But he really does love you the way you are. But I'm seeing you liking these things.
Yes.
So yeah, we just gotta come back.
My boyfriend always make a reference to like a Ferrari or something, like it's a beautiful car. I like to look at it. I don't want it. I'm not gonna bring it home. It's not practical. It's not. So we like to look at these things, but I'm not gonna bring her home to mom type of situation. And I'm like, so that's what it is. Like, that's when I really understood, like, okay, cool.
It's a real disconnect.
That's how they feel. Yeah.
And I cannot blame us for the lashes, because nigga was like, yo, girl, I wish you had butterflies. No, we never did that. That was not us. But yeah,
I agree.
It's been a great
We just took it too far.
Yeah. Can y'all give us some final words to take us through the week? Something to leave our audience with? Whoever want to go first. Well, guests go first. Sorry. Jennifer, what's your final words? Let them know how to reach you, how to order.
Yes. Final word. Okay, so Culture Delights on Facebook, Culture Delights LLC. Or Jennifer Avila. You can call me at 626-8124. Text me or whatever to place an order. I have the Beignet Bliss Mix at Stop and Shop in Frederickstead, Golden Rock Market in Christiansted, or calling me. And have a great week. Be good, people. You don't know what people are going through out here, so be kind. Be kind. It's smile once in a while. It's okay. That's the final.
Neci, what's your final words?
My final, my word for the week would be, in terms of what we talked about today, on the opposite side of fear lies success. All you have to do is take the first step.
Amen. Yep.
I like that.
That's a good one.
On the opposite side of fear lies success. Awesome. Love it. Well, this has been another great live stream episode of A Different Day with Jah and
Neci.
And we also with Jennifer Avila, Culture Delights LLC. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please go ahead and share the live. Tell people about A Different Day with Jah and Neci. You can follow us on Instagram at Same Difference 2022 or on TikTok at Same_Difference_pod. The YouTube is at VI_very_own. We got some announcements real quick before we go. First, to any political, candidates, any senatorial, gubernatorial candidates want to come on the show, they're available. We're available. Go ahead and DM us. We can have you on. We do not endorse any political candidates. We will listen to you. We will ask you good questions, have a good talk, good conversation, good interview, but we will not hit you with any softball questions. We will not give you any pre-written questions that you give us. So you could go ahead and come on the show, because we feel like this election cycle especially is too crucial to flop and go to who got the best jam. Sorry.
Right.
Also,
goes popular.
Exactly, because we don't need no more of that. Also, April 2nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be a guest on Gentleman Style Podcast live stream. Millennials survived it, Boomers built it, Gen Z is rejecting it. So tune in. Go ahead and follow Gentleman Style Podcast. All right, that's it for me, man. Have a good week. Remember Nici's final words. Remember how to contact her for some baked goods. Nisi, please go pick up that red belt. We love you guys. We out. Peace.